My name is Glenda Bettencourt and I live in Salida, California. Well, 3 years ago, I was in my garage, piddling around, jumping around, and unfortunately, I am diabetic and I had neuropathy in my feet. And we had just moved into this new place and I was jumping around looking through boxes and I slipped, and which I didn't know, I broke my ankle and foot. I had gone to my primary care, went to emergency. Nobody could seem to figure out what was wrong with it. I seen 5 doctors in 5 weeks, and finally my primary said, I'm just going to send you to a foot and ankle specialist. We can't figure out what's wrong with it. When he explained it from day one, for the first time, he said, well, you got 2 options. You could have surgery, we could try to save it, or we could amputate it. And he gave me both reasonings for both things. He said it was on my decision, what I felt I could handle. But he suggested the amputation because he says, I'll tell you, I've had patients that have done this and we've gone through the motions 2 or 3 years sometimes, because you can't just do one surgery. It's little bit by little bit. You put new, hardware in there. And then at that end of all that, you think you're going to be able to walk like a normal person. It turns out your body rejects it. And then you're back to square one where you have to have amputation anyway. And my whole life, I was always careful with my feet because my mother's mother lost her foot. And my mom was so petrified of that. One of her children would lose her feet because she had to take care of her mother as a child because of it. And so here, that worst nightmare has happened to me, you know. So it was a lot, but I'm pretty strong. And I got a lot of good advice, and he sent me people, some advocates to help me along, to understand it, which they were also amputees. They helped me on the right path. And then with the company that made my prosthetics, they're all great people. So through the process, he put me in several casts for several weeks. And he always explained everything as I was here. And from the first day I met Dr. Brayton, I was very comfortable with him because I finally got answers from somebody who knew what they were doing. That's how I felt. You know, oh my God, he knows what he's doing. With his staff and his wisdom and everything he told me, I was okay with it. And then when he brought the advocate in, so it was like one-on-one. He was telling me what to expect, how it's going to be, what you're going to go through. And everything these people told me, that's how it worked. So I was okay with it. I was comfortable with it. I was sad, of course. I wouldn't be human if I wasn't sad. But I think about my little babies running around. That's what made me want to get better and listen to whatever Dr. Brayton had to say and do. And I haven't seen Dr. Brayton. I had it in 2018. I haven't seen him since 2019, and I've been doing great, and everything's been doing good, but I got a little blister on it, and it's because of the way my leg's shrinking is happening. Those things kind of happen, so I had to come in and see him. So again, I feel confident in what he told me today, so I'll do what he tells me, and hopefully we can save it, or we might have to trim it. We don't know what we're going to do yet, but first stages again, but I'm comfortable. I'm like, okay, do what you tell me to do. So that's what I'm doing. My first amputation, it healed beautifully, no problems. It was a long haul, but it healed beautiful. So I know Dr. Brayton's one of the best. And I've heard it from a lot of people too, but as his patient, I think he's the best because he's made me feel the best. And I recovered because of his office and him and his people that guided me through all of it. So he's got a great staff and a great office here.